Hello guys, and welcome to this really exciting video about Prototype 4. It's finally finished. It took nearly 3 months, so yeah, what has changed? Well, visually nothing has changed, as you will notice, because yeah, I didn't make any visual changes. This Prototype 4 was just doing the AI. In this case, the red player here. And yeah, I have to admit that I didn't think that it would take that long. But I have to say that the Waypoint-System took me nearly 2 months of these 3 months, so it is really complex. I thought it would be way easier, but now everything works fine. And not only on this map. This AI and this Waypoint-System works on every map that you can imagine. But I have to admit just one thing, because the thing that spawns in the map tiles is missing some building blocks. So for example, I only have 5 building blocks in here currently, I think. So therefore not every map can be generated visually correctly, but from the logic every map works with the AI and with the Waypoint-System. So yeah, what is the AI, how good is the AI, and what can the AI currently do? Because I can definitely still do further development on the AI in terms of how it plays. So first of all, we can set all the spellable spells, recruitable forces, buildable structures and previous structures in the inspector. So right now, for example, the player has these structures. If I would restart the game and remove some structures here and here, then these available structures here would change, and the same applies for spells and forces. And the same applies for the enemy, just I can't show visually like this what the enemy has in terms of forces. So yeah, now let's talk about the rest. So of course we can set start gold, the map position, the gold boost, which basically means if we set this to 2, the player will have double gold. And if we set, for example, the AI, if we set it to 2, then the enemy will have double gold. Also, yeah, again, the deck settings for the AI. And now come the really interesting settings. So we have options for the start investment. So from the logic, it's pretty sure that the AI will have to build a building at the beginning. Otherwise it can't produce forces. So yeah, that's basically this set. So we can get the cheapest random, we can get the first cheapest, we can get the random cheapest range, random cheapest melee. And of course, cheapest is not the most impressive thing. I have a whole script which is dedicated to calculating which forces are better in terms of simulating 1-on-1s or 2v1s depending on the costs. So it would work, and I already tested it with another AI, with a previous AI model, but it isn't integrated in that version because, well, how can I say it? We only have 4 forces in the game, and therefore it doesn't change a lot. It nearly changes nothing because it's pretty, yeah, all forces are pretty similar and don't have huge differences. Only difference is melee and ranged, and of course between the spearman and the swordsman the stats vary a little bit, but not too much. So yeah, and that for these force cards which are currently in the game, we don't need that advanced start set option, but I can do it in the future. It's already implemented. I just have to yeah, put it into the class. So then we have the invest behavior. This one is interesting. So in here we can focus on start force production, which will basically mean we'll only produce forces that can be recruited in the swordsman heaven. So this is a simple AI version, you could say. So for example, in this case, he would only produce yeah, swordsman and spearman, and this would make the AI much easier to defeat. Then we have the focus on equal volume random new buildings. What this means is the AI will look at which forces it can produce, and will try to have equal gold amount in forces in the game. So for example here we have 2 spearmen and 1 swordsman. That means he will produce another swordsman, so that we have equal number of forces. And for example a ram has the cost of 500 I think currently, but the stats will change in the future. So for if we have 1 ram, he will also try to build 5 swordsmen and 5 spearmen. And when he has enough gold to build another building, he will select a random new building. So yeah, these are the 2 blocks. So first of all, the equal volume of forces and the random new buildings. For example, here you could also, or I will in the future also set settings, for example, that he will try to have each type of force, currently melee and ranged, so that he has the most variation of forces. And these are basically the investment behaviors, so what the AI buys. And now comes the more complicated part, or more interesting part, which is the command behavior and pathfinding behavior. So the command behavior is the most important one. The most intelligent one is the focus on enemy destruction, which basically makes this AI, if it has the same gold amount as the player, absolutely indestructible. I really tried it, but even with using spells, and the AI currently has no spells, even then it was really not possible to defeat the AI, because he just, if you conquer a gold mine, he will conquer it back. If you conquer another gold mine, he will conquer it back, and he will also attack you all the time, so it's really hard to defeat him. So there I have to, of course, for example, reduce the gold boost, or reduce the investment behavior. So yeah, this is a really strong command type. Then we got the focus and goal control, which is also tough to defeat, but absolutely manageable, because it's a it's like, how do I say it? He will try to conquer all gold mines before attacking you, so your base is safe, so you can focus on conquering the gold mines back. So with the same gold amount, the enemy still defeats the player in most cases. So I tried it, and I could beat the AI if I set him just melee forces, because the range forces are better currently because of the stats, but as I said, the stats will change in the future. But yeah, this is also a type of AI which is not bad, but also not perfect, because he will not, most likely he will not split his forces to all 3 different gold mines, I think. Or maybe he will. No, I think not. We can just try it. Yeah, focus on goal control. And yeah, the toleration is for the pathing. That's the next topic. So let's have a look. Yeah, as I said, he will not split his forces, which makes him not that intelligent and beatable, I would say. But still really hard to beat, so I also will reduce the gold boost for the AI. And then last one is the random gold pit attack, which sounds not that intelligent, but it's in fact not that unproductive, because yeah, the AI produces really fast, produces really good, so yeah, he will just send them randomly, and yeah, as you can see, in this case, a lot of forces going here, and they just split up, and if he has all 3 mines conquered, which doesn't take too much time, he will just attack your base, and it's really tough to beat this AI too. But I didn't even try it. This was the last one I implemented, and I didn't test it. So I tested it, but I didn't play it against it, because beating the AI currently takes, I'd say, around 50 minutes. Because look at the amount of forces. It's not limited, so he can produce an infinite number of forces, and you have to kill them somehow, which is really not easy. And also here are the forces spawning in all the time, so even with less gold, it takes a long time to defeat the enemy AI. But this is also, of course, due to the settings, so the gold, etc. And also because currently I disabled the a setting for the forces to disable the auto attack mode. So currently they are auto attacking. So if I have forces here, they will always attack forces which spawn, which is annoying because you can't really move them here because I disabled it. But this is just commenting one line of code in and it's back into the game. So yeah, this was the third type of command behavior. And I want to say that doing these command behaviors was not the difficult part. It was finding out how to do it, because this command behavior, this is a very top level, but what goes behind the scenes is pretty complicated and took a really long time to develop. I tried 4 different variants of AI and this was the one that worked. So yeah, it was not that easy. And of course then we have the pathfinding behavior. We can of course choose the quickest way. We can choose the quickest way random, which basically means if there are 2 quickest ways, he will randomly choose one of them, which will make the force split, or if there are many forces, they will not go the same path all the time. And then we have with tolerations, so well, there we can just tolerate longer paths, and he will randomly choose between all the paths that he has with no doubles, which basically means he sorts paths out that aren't intelligent. And yeah, the other part doesn't sort out any paths. So yeah, that's the current AI, and I don't want to spoil too much, so I will just stop the video here and yeah, talk more about the future plans in the next video, especially about the playtest, because I want to develop a playtest. But more to that will be in the video next week, and you can be sure that you will see a lot of gameplay of this version and of the different AI types in the upcoming weeks or months. And yeah, I hope you liked this video. I hope it was entertaining, and yeah, I wish you an amazing day and be hyped. Goodbye.